Ladies and gentlemen, meet the refreshed 2016 Volkswagen Passat. Now there are three engine choices in this car. There is a 1.8 liter turbo, which this is. There is a 3.6 liter VR6, and of course there's a TDI, which did not get certified for emissions in America, but you probably know about that, and we'll discuss that more at the end of the video. But for now, we've got this brand spanking new 2016 Passat, so let's take it for a ride and see how it does. Now that is the previous generation Passat that just happened to drive by, and if you look at this car from a style perspective, it is not only bigger, but there's a lot more chrome. And get this, there's even a power hood reminiscent of an American V8 on the front to show you that this car is big and bold.
Forward of the A-pillar is new, has new sheet metal for the hood and fenders. The headlights are new, both in halogen and LED illumination. The grille is new, and the bumper is new as well.
And why have you gone kind of more sporty? I mean, that's what it looks like to me, right? You're saying it's a little bit more like the Golf GTI.
Right. So we wanted to strike the balance between a typical German conservative design, but also give it more of a flair to it.
All right, let's talk about the two engine choices that will be available when it goes on sale in November. Let me check my notes. This, of course, is a 1.8 liter turbo, direct injected, that puts out 170 horsepower and 184 pound-feet of torque. It is mated to a 6-speed automatic transmission, and it gets 25 mpg in the city, and this number Volkswagen is especially proud of, 38 on the highway. This is, after all, a very big car. There's also the 3.6 liter VR6, which is also direct injected, puts out 280 horsepower, 258 pound-foot of torque, comes with a dual clutch transmission, and gets 20 mpg in the city and 28 on the highway. So how does a 2016 Passat drive? Well, it's a bit of an enigma. Let me explain that. It drives like a large, comfortable, and competent German sedan. I feel like this could go touring on the Autobahn all day, and yet it's front-wheel drive. I feel like it should be rear-wheel drive. The interior is classy, it's premium, it feels expensive, and yet this 6.3-inch display is already looking dated when you compare it to some of the more modern 8-inch displays. And finally, this engine is just peppy and responsive and fun to drive, and it feels like it should be in a car that's much more sportier and much more smaller than this very large Passat.
So the S starts the same price as last year, actually $22,440, but we've added about $1,300 of additional content to that trim level.
Such as?
Alloy wheels are now standard, dual zone climate control is standard, rear-view camera is standard, touchscreen radio and USB port are now standard in this car, better fuel economy, so it's a lot stronger value for our customers.
And when you get up to the SEL Premium?
Right. SEL Premium, yes.
So what do you get for your, what, $38,000, right?
Well, that's actually $34,000 or so it
Okay.
starts at for the SEL Premium, and you get all the driver assistance features, so lane assist, adaptive cruise control, which you actually already get at $26,000, front assist also at $26,000. You also get self-parking, park distance control, And you also actually get an active blind spot monitoring system. So if you're trying to leave your lane with your blinker on and there's a car in your blind spot you don't see, the steering wheel will detect that and you'll move back into your lane.
The Passat competes with other mid-size sedans like the Accord, the Camry, the Altima, but what really sets it apart is right back here. It's the back seat. This Passat has been Americanized. There's so much room back here. Look at this. My knees don't even touch the back of the seat where I drive. It is just a very big and very stretched mid-size sedan. It's almost the size of a Chrysler 300 or even a Ford Taurus. It's that big. The real story of this mid-size sedan segment is technology, and the Passat comes well equipped to the game. There are things like cross-traffic alert, adaptive cruise control, blind spot monitoring, and there's even a system that will brake the car after you have an accident so that you don't have a secondary accident. And of course, there we go. There's this very popular hands-free trunk opening option that lets you get into this very spacious trunk without having to have a push button that's in your hand. Seating position is excellent. The wheel is nice and thick. I like the flat bottom. I like the fact that I have a lot of room in here. You know, there's a lot of value in this car, but I'm not sure the value proposition is working for Volkswagen. So maybe you need to bring in something else to the equation, like making it really classy, or making it really sporty, or making it really fun, or making it really exciting. The inside of the Passat has also been refreshed. Looking forward, there are more round and sporty Golf GTI-like gauges. There's a 6.3-inch display on the upper trim models that is paired to either Android Auto or CarPlay by Apple, depending on which device you prefer. Everything is a little bit more expensive. The materials are a little bit more soft. And in general, except for this part, it's a nicer place to spend long hours.
The dash pad is new on the top. The gauges are now more GTI inspired. There's a dual gauge pod there. The center stack is anchored by the new infotainment systems across the board. We have new radios on every trim level. And then all the switch gear has been changed as well. And as I said, standard chrome on all the switches, so even the power window switches have chrome, and the mirrors, everything is now standard chrome. And then the decor inside, we have laser grained decor.
Well, there it is, a refreshed 2016 Passat. More chrome, more technology, and even a power hood. It starts at about $23,000, and if you get the one that's fully loaded, it'll go north of $35,000. And it will be available at your VW dealership this November. The question, of course, is, do you trust Volkswagen with your hard-earned money? And I've got some thoughts on that at the end of this video. But for now, this is Roman reporting for the Fast Lane Car. Check out tflcar.com for more news, views, and of course, real-world Passat reviews. And please don't forget to click on me if you want to see the newest reviews first. We've got the 2016s rolling in every day. See you next time. Ciao. All right, me and you right here, right now. Let's solve all of Volkswagen's problems, especially with this Dieselgate mess that they've gotten themselves into. So I have a 3-point plan to get Volkswagen back on its feet and selling cars in America. Number one, Volkswagen, if you're listening, feel free to take this. You have to do a Frontline-like documentary where it's an in-depth look at what went wrong in the company. So maybe you ambush Herr Professor Dr. Engineer Winterkorn and you say, we know that you demanded 50 mpg in the diesel and it wasn't doable, so the engineers decided to, with or without your knowledge, you know, and just completely get the facts out. Give me something exciting. Change up this boring, conservative, staid design language that you're using right now. Let's face it, this car is different from the outgoing model, but if you saw them on the road, you'd have a hard time telling them apart. So that's step number 2. Step number 3, well, that's an easy one. You have to drape yourself in the American flag. Enough of this German engineering. Some of your most iconic cars, Volkswagen, have integrated themselves into the American lifestyle. I'm talking about the Beetle. I'm talking about the hippie van. These are cars that are about as American as apple pie. So, you know, really focus on the fact that you're building these cars in Chattanooga. Drape yourself in the American flag and distance yourself from Volkswagen AG. Get out of Wolfsburg and perhaps do something crazy. Move the headquarters to Detroit.